Alrighty, want to welcome everybody out to the December 4th, 2023 regular meeting of the Jenkins City Council. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ernestine.
Here.
Chuck.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
Garnet.
Here. All right, if you would stand for the prayer, please. Chuck, you here to lead the prayer?
Dear Lord, we're thankful to be able to meet here tonight. And Lord, as we're discussing the business of our city, we pray that we do so according to your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now you join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Important matter at hand, and you all know with the passing long time Councilman Sammy Eldrick, we need to fill that seat. And I think we have a nomination.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to nominate Josh Gibbs to fill the remainder of his term, of Sammy's term.
All right, I have a nomination. Would anybody care to second that nomination?
I'll second.
Nomination second. All those in favor of Josh Gibbs to replace Mr. Ellsworth, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Just so happens we've got a judge here can make this happen. Josh, if you would come up. Judge, you ready?
I am.
All right.
All right, Josh, I have to administer to you the oath of office for the City of Jenkins Council. Can I get you to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm or promise that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will be a faithful and true citizen of the Commonwealth so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of City of Jenkins Council according to law? And do you further solemnly affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, that you, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it, nor have you acted or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as a second in carrying out a challenge, nor aided any person thus offending? So help you God. Thank you. Here is for you. I will take the other and turn it in the clerk and record it in the clerk's office in the morning. Congratulations.
Josh, you wouldn't come right here. You ready? Action. I want to give this for you and to give to your mommy. Sammy was here a long time. Sammy wasn't on the city council. He helped raise me in Rocky Hollow. And when I started rebuilding carburetors in the house, and Mom said, you got to have a garage, he helped build me a garage. And when I didn't know how to run a backhoe, he showed me how to run a backhoe. So that's the start. Over the years, he's been involved in, they put rock around the football, not football field, the lake. When he worked for the county, he came over, he run equipment. He did lots and lots of things. He loved this city, he loved his family, and sure want to miss him. Appreciate you sharing. Mr. Gibbs here with us, the Lord we can carry on. If you would give this to your mommy, we appreciate you. All right, first order of business with Mr. Gibbs.
You have the resolution ready?
Yeah.
Josh, do you have an agenda? Okay.
Randall's got a resolution prepared.
Resolution honoring Councilman Sammy Ellsworth, City of Jenkins, Kentucky, comes now to City Council of Jenkins, Kentucky, and hereby resolves as follows. Whereas the City Council, from time to time, has cause to recognize one of its citizens who has had distinguished themselves by their unstinting service to the community. Whereas the City Council now agrees that Sammy Ellsworth is one such person due to his long service as councilman. And now therefore to honor his service and memory, the City Council hereby declares its appreciation and honors his name by declaring this resolution. Be it therefore known and resolved that the city expresses its gratitude and appreciation for Sammy Elder and conveys the city's condolences to his family. Dated displaying day of December 2023, signature line, mayor, signature line, each council, attestation clerk.
All right, having read the resolution, I'd ask Mr. Gibbs if he would make a motion to approve this resolution.
A motion to approve.
Having a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We'll pass it around for everybody to see it.
Voting sign.
Yeah, go ahead and sign it. That's right. Alrighty, in your packets, we have the minutes from the November meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Having a motion second, all in favor say aye. Hold same sign. Also, financial report is in your packet for November. Entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Having a motion second, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Alrighty. You ready for the CRAD report?
Yeah.
At the high spot?
Yeah, in your packet, you should see the updates for November. We have a lot going on. I think there should be a couple of things worth out and save some time. We got a lot of procurements going on. A big one that I want to touch on is the CDBG. We're in the last steps of getting that approved. That was the grant for the city hall renovations. Later on, that's going to come up in the new business, I think. So I just want to make sure we get that passed and get everything signed there just so we can finish that up. We'll start seeing that coming down. I got extra handouts here if anybody else wants to look over everything that's going on with Perry right now, doing what we're doing for Jenkins. Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot going on there. I can go over the list if you want, but I just want to maybe save some time or whichever one.
Be ready for questions next time in case they make a check mark on something.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, a lot of stuff's moving. And from the time you have a thought, you apply, you do all the stuff involved in it. And just a little background on grants, and then you get awarded, or if we get one of those big blue checks, that just means they've approved it. And then we have to do environmental studies and all this that goes with it.
Yeah, it can be a long process.
It is a long process. It takes a while, but then we start administering the money, and then it's drawn down over time. So we do a little work, we get some money, we draw a little work till we get to the end, and then we close that project out. So that's just a little bit of how grants work. And I know a lot of people think, well, they got money for this and it can be spent on that. Well, we applied for certain things and it has to be used on those certain applications and projects. The engineer's report is, most all these are moving. The ADA improvement City Hall, we'll touch on it just in a second. The I&I Phase 1, they should be starting in the next week or so on it. The roof and the rest of the building improvements, we're still looking to try to figure out where that's going to come from. We initially thought it may be folded into the USDA grant, but it didn't qualify, so we're having to seek some other funding for it. The flood recovery and housing assistance development, that is, the site has been chosen and that work is going. They started environmental review the 17th and they're moving all that stuff along too. Raven Rock Water and Sewer Extensions, we're applying for some more money on that. We had a community funding request in for that, but we didn't receive that for this year, so we're moving on, trying to get that. So that's a high spot for the engineer's report. Now, Susan's in town, and she's going to do a lot better job on the ER assist update and where we're at than I've been able to. Thank you, Susan.
Well, before I get to the FEMA and flood recovery, I'll first cover the project that we have with Kentucky Emergency Management, which is the 404 hazard mitigation application that we submitted to replace the generator at the sewer plant and to put a new generator in at the water treatment plant. We did all of that last year. We cleared the, I guess you'd call it the pre-approval hurdle, and just over the last couple of weeks, we have been sent a long list of required documents and required tasks that we have completed. Thanks to the help of everyone here at City Hall, we've gotten things signed and gotten things posted, and so that project is marching forward. Slowly, but nevertheless it is marching forward. I have no idea in terms of time frame, in terms of when we will be receiving the funding and ordering the equipment and all of that sort of a thing, but it is moving forward, and I know that the folks over the sewer plant will be very happy to replace that aged equipment out there and get a new one out at the water plant. Now, in terms of FEMA public assistance, that's kind of a two-sided coin. You've got the actual repair work and then the funding or reimbursement funding that you receive for the actual repair work. And I think on both fronts there we've made quite a bit of progress. Gotten most of the roads that were flood damaged fixed. I know I've heard in the convenience stores and whatnot, they were wondering why all the roads weren't fixed, but our priority and our focus was the roads that we determined to be flood damaged, and the contractors finished that up a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, or last week.
Have they finished?
If you want to call it that.
Okay. We've got
It's
one,
got blacktop in it.
we've got one area we're going to have to look at, but
Oh, okay, it's a
other
little
than
bit
that,
of like a
yeah.
punch list of sorts?
Yeah.
Okay. And then about 520 cubic yards of debris was removed from the retention pond, stormwater retention pond, and they finished that last week. So we're slowly, and then I guess the Coal Museum parking lot, it's dark, so I didn't get to see it tonight, but I think that's been completed as well. And if there are some issues cropping up with the roads and whatnot, we'll address those. So the work in and of itself is moving forward. The deadline for work completion is January 29th of 2024. Any projects that on which the actual operational work is not complete will just file a time extension. That's not an unusual thing at all. And I think we do have a couple of things, the dam and some other things that we'll be filing a time extension on. On the funding side of it, we took everything, all of the damage, and kind of packaged it up into about 12 projects. 6 of those projects have been fully documented, have gone through the review process, have been obligated, and I think maybe even all the funds have arrived and been deposited, and that's a little over $555,000 so far of projects that have been approved and funded. That's 6 of the 12 projects. We have 4 projects of about 600,000, a little more than 600,000, that are in the final steps of the approval process and should be obligated in the next couple of weeks, I'm anticipating. And the funding, like usually, funding arrives in you all's account a couple of weeks after obligation. The holidays will slow that down a little bit, so I'm anticipating either toward the end of the month or the first part of January when these 4 projects, the funding from these 4 projects will land in your account. That leaves 2 projects that are still in development. One of them will be submitted this week, and the other, and it's just a matter of pulling together a few little invoices. The other project, which will be kind of the last project that we submit, is called your Donated Resources Project. That's where we kind of gather together documentation about equipment that was donated, volunteer hours that was donated to the city in the effort of recovery. We put a monetary value to that, and Donated Resources Project funding helps to cover y'all's local share on all these other projects. But it's always the very last project that gets dealt with. So that's one of the remaining projects to submit. We have one project that has a portion of it in appeal. We had a project that was involving some of the slips, like on Upper Dunham, for example. One kind of slip, well, I guess they called it more of a slide because it was an upper slide that we put in that project was out at the sewer plant. And it was about estimated to be about a $60,000 repair there. That portion of that particular project was denied based on eligibility because typically slips from above rather than below a surface, like below a road, are not eligible. But we have appealed that on the basis of the sewer plant being in danger if that slide continues. Now, it's hard to say we may lose that appeal, but we had to file it. We just had to give it a try. And if that appeal does not go our way, then we'll seek out under other types of funding to address that slide out of the sewer plant. So that's one part of one of the projects that's still kind of in question. That particular project was kind of a 3-parter, and the parts that were eligible have already been obligated and the funds have already been received. But that portion that involved the sewer plant is in appeal, and appeals can take a little bit of time, because we have 60 days to file it and then FEMA has 60 days to look at it. We filed it, so now we're waiting on them to look at it. And then we'll, base our actions on what answer we receive. They could say, well, we want the region to take another look at it, or they could make a determination themselves. We just don't know where it'll go. So that's kind of where everything is at the moment. Does anyone have any questions at all?
Yeah, I've got one of the streams that were supposed to have been cleaned out, haven't been cleaned out. And I want to know if that's actually going to happen, or is it still on the list, or?
I'll find out what's going on with it. I'm texting myself to give myself a reminder. That's not a project I've worked on, so it's more of a county project, and so I don't have a lot of...
I think we were told that every bridge would have 100 foot on either side of the bridge cleaned out,
Okay.
and then that's not happened.
That's NRCS hot spots, and they've not.
I didn't know if she had anything to do that.
Yeah, not for us directly, but
I can track down that information, though. So let me text myself here. That's my memory.
while she's doing that, if you've seen more engineers in town above the engineers that was here before, We're applying for a stormwater project to look at all the culverts from the top of the hills to down the creeks, the streams for the whole city. We've not got that money. We've got the engineers looking and coming up with a scope of work to apply for that for disaster 21 money. To try to take a look at the whole town. So we're looking at everything. The dam, we should have a report on the dam in 2 or 3 weeks to apply for the actual money to start doing the repairs. I've been told we should get that money through 21 disaster money, because there's 21 money, then there's 22 money, and all the funding schemes that goes with it. So we're working every side of it.
Is dredging part of that, is that separate?
4 streams.
Not for the dam.
Okay, that would be in the next phase after the safety and it's under quality. And we're not supposed to say dredging, we're supposed to say sediment removal.
And the portion-
I don't mean to wait.
Well, I dreaded to say dredging.
Well, I said, what about dipping it out? And they said, well, okay. But anyway, that is one project's in there.
You talking about covers up on the top of the hill?
From the top to the bottom. Now, we won't do them all at once, but I'm looking at, because, over the years when Consol built town, there were some culverts and everybody had a nice ditch in front of their house because they didn't have no car. They had a little place to right as it. And then over the years, people that put pipes in or whatever they could figure out made their yards bigger. And we just got a conglomeration of different sizes, different states of what they're in. So we're trying to look at doing from the top of the hill to the streams to the top of the next hill to be able to, and stormwater management ain't what I thought it was. Me, the bigger the culvert, the deeper the ditch, the better off you are. Well, the better off we are, but the worse off our neighbors are. So there's ways. Yeah, so we have to watch, but the folks, well, you all graded the RFPs for the stormwater, and they've been in here, and they brought 3 in, and they're looking real hard because you have to sort of manage it. You have to have places for it to sort of slow down and hold back a little while and then go down. So that's what they're doing. But I think we've got a good shot at working on that too. So, water lines and stuff's pretty good shape. The sewer lines, we're working on them. We got another 400-some thousand to work on the sewer plant. Some I&I studies, like I said, getting ready to get started. So we're looking hard at rebuilding, and then we're looking hard at building up on top of the hill here. You got anything else?
Some of these projects have some hazard mitigation written into them. For example, the project that involves the damage to the buildings and the loss of contents, for example, at the fire station. FEMA was like, well, we're going to give us some cost estimates because we want to buy shelving so they can put their new equipment up on shelving. And so there's some hazard mitigation written into some of those projects as well. 406 hazard mitigation, so that we can build back a few things better. The thing that just to always keep in mind is this is FEMA public assistance, which is directed toward what we determined was damaged by the flood. It doesn't address things that were already damaged or needed repair and whatnot, and sometimes that's hard for folks to remember. All of your culverts may need addressed, but what FEMA addressed were the culverts that were damaged by the flood. Just keep pushing forward on this, and hope that no other disaster comes through until we can finish all of our work.
Thank you, please.
Richard, I'll track down that information and send it to the mayor soon.
If you can get it, it'd be great, because I can't get it. All I know is we're on the list. We turned in hot spots a month after it, and closer the contractors got this way, the less they took out. So, but it's been brought up over and over again. So
it may take a while to track it down, but usually once I put something on my to-do list, I keep at it, even if it's there for a year.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Need authorization to open another bank account strictly for police seizure. So if they seize some money in one of these drug arrests, it's a place for it to stay, to be tracked. It's not in a safe somewhere. It's in a bank, and then as it needs to be sent out or divvied up with other departments, wherever it has to be distributed out.
Do we have that now?
We don't. We've always sort of kept it in another account. This makes it easier to keep up with, so,
Yeah, it's evidence till
Yeah.
forfeiture orders issued.
yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion and second, all in favor say aye. Alrighty, CDBG City Hall ADA grant agreement. The grant is for $750,000. Our match is $16,855. I about couldn't make my fives and eights out. More or less what it is, we tried to do a whole facelift and roof and everything, but when they come back with us, it was, this will get our elevator in, where we can meet upstairs, we can use the whole building. This redoes the bathrooms ADA compliant, in and out of the building ADA compliant, a drop-off box with a pass-through in the inside of the building. I don't have everything, but the majority of it is the elevator piece of it. But we are searching for funds to try to, while we're doing all that, try to do it all at one time and not have to back up and redo it again. We've got the money put back for the $16,000, but for $16,800, we can leverage $750,000 to do something that at one time we had some money to work toward it, but it got moved over into another project. So if I could get a motion to approve, sign the contract for the ADA improvements to City Hall.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, and a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, Kentucky Power Resolution. You got the resolution for me?
Well, this is one, today I've been talking to Kentucky Power's general counsel, and they don't have all the language agreed to between them and our attorney Linda Ames on the franchise agreement. So they wanted to pass the resolution adopting the franchise agreement until they get the language right. But she's out this week, so
Okay, you're
we'll
good.
resolve it Friday.
So you're good with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think they're operating
Okay.
under the old one right now.
Okay. All right, you want to read the resolution?
Well, you won't need the resolution till you pass the,
Okay.
till you
Well,
sign the
okay.
contract.
I thought you wanted to go ahead and pass the resolution and then agree on the agreement later. Okay. All right, we'll just wait.
Until
Oh,
next meeting.
yeah. Alrighty. Anybody in the audience got anything?
Yeah, we appreciate the hard time. But well, I talked to Ernestine, I talked to Rick about what's breaking that road is in the trucks. And everybody on the hill was talking about it. That's what's busting the hard top up.
Talking about the garbage truck.
Rubber truck coming around that hill.
Well,
So what can we do? I mean, I know it's not Rick.
huh.
We gotta pick the garbage up.
Yeah, we got
I know
to.
you got to pick it up, but you can always hold you a smaller
The
truck.
county has small trucks with small beds to go on the hill. Instead of taking that big truck.
We can work on it. We're running behind and it's tight just getting done before 3:34 right now. If we have to get another truck and then load it and hand unload it. And
Can you organize,
And the
I mean,
can you
I'm
organize your roads when the truck's empty? Let it be the first route.
it could be the first route on that day, but you're, well,
Yeah, more than one
Garbage,
hill.
that's your weight.
yeah, 3 or 4, well, the truck itself ain't real light. It's 3 or 4 tons, sometimes 5 or 6 when it packs out. Yeah, it could be the first route on that day. That's a good idea. I mean, I don't turn it no worse than anybody else is. I'm just trying to figure out, because we start doing that and they're out of extra iron and we're paying 2 guys overtime that's already hustling, trying to get back in right now. We'll look at it. Let me see what we can figure out. I'll talk to them about, we could allow
Me and
them.
Rick talked about the state might have, a smaller compact truck.
Yeah, we've got a pickup, we can do it, but my thing is then they have to get out of the big truck, go get the little truck, and they have to handle and load all, do they hand load, but then they have to come back and handle
The
it.
county's got a small compactor.
Yeah, I think they're about $118,000.
Yeah, they're not much cheaper than the big one.
No, they're not. We'll look at it, because we don't want to tear it up no worse than anybody. It took this long to get it fixed, we don't want to tear it up anymore. We'll try to keep an eye on it and see if it starts moving any quickly.
Well, I talked to the guys that put it down, they told me that that's what's fixing to happen. I can tell you that. And they do blacktop every day,
Yeah. We'll see what we can come up with.
Okay.
If they can pick, anyway, we've got a smaller truck with a cage on it that we got when it snows, we can get on top of the hill. All ready? Anybody else? Council got anything? And while you're thinking, if you want to, real quick again, just for the folks at home, there's a lot of questions. They'll see one road, it's front to back and good, and that's just the way the inspectors hit it. That's the way they looked at it. That's the way it was drew up. I can see exactly the concerns, and I had the same ones. On the good side of that, we were able to work on about 17 roads that otherwise we wouldn't have, and I think that contract's $539,000, I think, about on that side. And then what we had put back to try to blacktop was a little over $100,000, so we were $660 some odd $1,000 in blacktop. Now, if I didn't see more than you did, it's between $218 and $350 a ton, depending on which way they put it down. I would love to fix more. And this goes back to the, years ago we had co-severance money that we could move stuff around and do blacktop. We had usually end up about $100,000 every year and a half. And then when blacktop was between $50 and $60 a ton, we could do 5 times what we got done this time. So we're trying hard. We're 17 roads ahead that we wouldn't have. The other places we fixed, they were milled and put back, except for one I've got checked, and in a good way. We could have put that 1-inch flat road, thick seal coat on it, made it look good for about a year, and then we'd be right back at it. Good thing now we're not paving back over 100-year-old water lines and have to dig them back up the next day. So I feel like, I know everybody didn't get it as much as they like, and some places haven't got it all. We have got some coal patch and a compactor, and we're going to be out trying to dress up and fix up what spots we can until the next project comes through. Another thing with blacktop, used to, the county could pick some roads and use their money. Wayne used to do it for us, but it's now illegal for them to do that. So we've got about 4 funding sources that we used to be able to bring in to help with the blacktop. It's not there anymore. So we're doing the best we can on those, but we'll finish up the other spots, but we've got a good start on it. I mentioned some on the grants, and just want to mention, people ask me, what about this? And we've seen you get that big blue check, and ain't nothing happened yet. It takes a while. Time we apply, time we get the grant awarded, time we start drawing the money down, the construction, pre-construction, legal, and all the things that has to be done. There's one thing worse than getting money, and that's having to turn around and give it back. And knock on wood, we've never had to give any back, and we're not going to start now. But just some highlights, the USDA grant for City Hall is one. We got another USDA grant for a cruiser, and hopefully that gets lined out, and we'll have a new cruiser here before too long. The land water for the city parks, that one's still in the works. Recreational trails for the trail that goes from the amphitheater up to Raven Rock. Got money from AML for sewer plant rehab, clean water money for some work at the sewer plant. Got another grant for ARC for I&I. We're moving. There'll be a lot of stuff starting in the spring. The housing development, Grandview Higher Ground development up here, they started on the environmental on it. I've met with some other funders, some housing folks to look at how all that's going to play out. So that's, there's not going to be 115 homes built in 6 months, but we do have a place now to expand for business. We do have a place now to expand for housing, and we're looking forward to getting all those pieces together. Soon we're going to have to do RFPs for an auditor. We're going to hire a new auditor. I'm hoping we get some good quotes on them, but I'm talking to other cities and other governments. We're probably looking at another $10,000, $12,000 more a year than we've been spending. But we have to do the audits, not only because it's a good thing to do, but anytime you have a pass-through with federal funds, you have to have audits, and they're peer review audits that other auditors look at the same audits that we're going through. So, and I think that's all I had for tonight. Generators are going to be great. During the flood, if we'd had the generator at the water plant, other than shutting that one little section of town off, we lost the water lines, we'd not been out without water. The big oak tree from 100 years ago helped us not be able to get on water as quick as we'd like to, but they did a good job of getting us back on and getting everything lined out.
Real quick, I'd like to Justin and Jim, thank you guys. It's awesome to look on social media and see what you guys are taking off the streets, so appreciate it. You guys are doing a good job.
Speaking of that, Mayor, if you don't care, real quick, I know we're about done, but I just wanted to recognize Justin in front of y'all for the, because he got some dinners. How many was that, Justin, we got, that you got from?
15, I think.
We got like 15, and we passed out to people that didn't get them from New Freedom Worship Center, so that was pretty cool. That shows that we don't just go out and, there's other things we do too besides patrolling and giving out tickets, so.
Well, that was the turkeys, and then we had almost 200 dinners that you and Binky and everybody give out. So, you want to go ahead and do your report while you?
That's really all I wanted to get out. You can read the report there and see what we got. Some of this forfeiture stuff, the thing you got to remember is kind of like what Todd was talking about. It takes a while to get this stuff, so just because we get $1 today doesn't mean we'll see it until sometimes, but like the last time we finally got stuff back, I think first of last year, and that was from 2 years ago. So sometimes it takes